Anyway, I'd like to call the meeting to order. First item on our agenda is public comment. Do we have any public comments? Do we have any public comments? Have any public comments? Hearing none, we will go to the next item is to acknowledge the minutes from September 18th.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Meet with the county engineer, who seems to be very vocal today.
Good morning,
morning.
Supervisors.
That's because of Cyclone's one.
Cyclone's one. Yes, very good weekend to be a Cyclone. But,
I don't know about the Hawkeyes.
well,
It hasn't been a good weekend to be a Hawkeye for several years.
You know, all I gotta say is they made it to Penn State, so that's enough.
Yeah, the question is whether or not they made it home. If we're lucky, they left Brian Ferentz there.
Anyway, let's
is that
let's
the
stick to
opinion
the
of
comments
supervisors
from
or just
let's
one?
stick to comments from the county engineer.
Okay, on a bright note, we received our reimbursement from Sitka for the 2 grants for 225th and what the heck was the other one? No, Vapor Locked, not Jasmine.
I don't know, I was gonna have you
We
talk
did
about it.
the 225th tank cars and,
And that road still looks nice.
oh, the Parrot Pond. outlet pipe
How
that we
much
did.
was it? Okay.
Over off of Fruitland Avenue. We redid the outflow from the pond over there north of 200. All total, just short of 40,000. They're right around $40,000 for the 2 projects.
Well, it's-
We're quite a bit under what our estimated costs were on, so it worked out all right. LL Pelling has completed their 2 projects with the county. We will continue to monitor the roads. They apply a overabundance of cover aggregate to have it available should it start to bleed. Terry at the quarry, at the Jefferson County Quarry called in this morning, told us that over the weekend that had started to bleed. So we're going to run over there with a broom and broom the cover aggregate into the areas that are bleeding and
So what do you mean by bleeding? What does it look like?
it looks like oil coming up through the chip seal, which is what we want. Or you want it to come up so that it binds and seals, so you get a complete cover, and then you can keep applying cover aggregate until that all gets worked in. And with the warm temperatures this week and next week, I anticipate we'll have that on all of the roads that we've done. Nutmeg is exhibiting that from 200th to.
And I didn't feel like overstuffed or anything, so. I
Many-
mean, that's
Somebody on Zoom needs to mute.
What else we got going?
Sound like Sandy, didn't it?
No,
Doesn't
I think it's
matter.
probably-
Doesn't matter who it was.
No, I just,
We had our excavator broke down. Brian got that fixed. And then we will work on the stream channel under the Iris Bridge this week to get that finalized before the bridge flat cars show up next week on Tuesday. And then the crew is continuing to work on edge rut on the Salina Road. It's just slow work. They put a windrow of rock right adjacent to the road where the edge of the shoulder drops off. And then our dump truck that we ordered a year ago is now in. So we will pay for that. It'll be on your bills for next week. And then we'll go pick that up and then take it up to Henderson where they do the rest of the box and snowplow installation. So the truck itself is $130,000, give or take, and box and snowplow is another 120. So you're shooting right about $250,000 for the dump truck. And then the one we're replacing will take over to the auction house in Mount Pleasant and put it on public auction. And that, I believe, folks. Oh, and Thomas and I will be at Independence tomorrow for a soil stabilization clinic. I'll have my phone with me if you need anything other than that. I'm gonna be out of the office most of the day. And that is all I had, folks.
Well, thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is discuss and consider the appointment or reappointment of Sean Morrissey to Progressive Housing.
And this was not on, but I texted him and asked him if he'd be willing to serve again, and he said yes. So I make a motion to reappoint Sean Morrissey to Progressive Housing.
I second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Next item, discuss and consider reappointment of Joe Ledger to the Civil Service Commission.
And the same with Joe. He's willing to serve again. So I'll make a motion to reappoint Joe to Civil Service
I
Commission.
second that motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Wait. Okay,
Motion passed.
let's catch up with paperwork here.
Okay.
Sean.
Congratulations. You're on the board now.
All right, we need another one of these.
Are we done with the signatures? Next item is to discuss and consider bills for building repair at 304 South Maple.
I talked to Dave last week. See, the confusion is somebody sent, it's like 130 to insurance, but Dave says to fix that right, it's gonna be 1,500 to 2,000.
Do we have a bid for that?
I don't think so. That's his experience.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you want to go get him and talk to him about this. You can do it later on in the meeting if you want to. Here, let's look here, what we've got here.
Well, I don't see any numbers on here at all, but I talked to Dave also, and there was some questions, and I asked him to get on the agenda, and I think he's on Zoom.
It's on there. You just can't see it.
I just can't see. How much is it?
130.
Okay,
Yeah, this is the 130,
Oh, I
but
see it
this
now.
was just to do the initial patch. But
But-
see, there was some water damage inside, and it's Pathfinders. I'm not sure it's Dave's. Dave, did you have any damage?
I was not even aware of this bill,
Yeah,
so
I think somehow it's gotten confused to DHS, and it's the Pathfinders offices that have the issue.
well, the question that Dave and I talked about though was, we evidently sent the bills to DHS to be paid out of their building line item. And, is that right, Dave?
correct. There is a water line broke also, where Dave from the county came, he couldn't fix it, so he hired someone to come fix it. Then we got sent the bill to pay for it.
How much was that one, $169? Happy Land?
That was 169, correct?
Yeah, that's in here. So maybe that's what we're talking about with Dave.
Yeah, it was just that,
Last year I had asked, I had an issue with a outdoor light and Dave couldn't fix it, so I hired, I don't remember who it was. And we did pay for it out of our budget. And I was told when I came up for our annual meeting, I was told that I should not do that because that's part of the county building and it's covered by the county by the county. So I'm kind of seeking clarification for one, on how you want me to handle these things when they're not something that's caused by me or any of my employees. And then the roofing one, I really had no idea about or where it was.
Yeah, that's a Pathfinders one. I think that just got confused between the departments.
But if it was something that happened to the building,
That should be yours
it should be ours.
outside.
Because we would then be responsible for turning this to our insurance. And I'm not sure, has that happened? I wonder.
Yeah, but in these cases, it doesn't make sense because it doesn't meet the deductible threshold
Oh,
yet. But see, I think the issue that we need to talk to Dave, which I talked to him, but I think we all need to, is it still needs, and I'm talking the water damage one, needs proper repair because inside, because of the little, when the limb hit the roof,
Yeah.
some
okay.
water leaked inside and did some damage to the ceiling and the carpet and that kind of stuff.
And but
That's not been repaired.
is that an accurate dollar amount, the 130?
The
That's just for the
130,
shingle repair.
Huh?
That's just for the shingle repair.
that's
Okay.
just the
Okay.
initial Band-Aid to keep the water out,
Okay,
but it's not a repair. It's a Band-Aid.
so we need to
We
do,
need to get it fixed and we need to talk to Dave,
okay,
which we can do when we're done with the meeting, or we can go get him now. He's around.
I think we can talk to him about it after the meeting, because obviously we need to fix it.
Yeah,
Dee, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this all one instance, these two bills?
no, this,
So
What?
this is different insurance claims?
Dave's, you said it happened last year, right? Happy
On
Land?
the water, these are two different situations. The shingles, it appears, happened over Pathfinder, so I wouldn't have
Right.
known about it. The water line did happen in our office. I was there when it happened. I went downstairs, tried to shut off the main, couldn't quite get it all the way off. We didn't have any water damage from it, but he did have to replace the water line. It was a valve stem that went to one of our toilets. So whoever he called, Happy Land Plumbing and Heating, they came and repaired it, and we were good to go from there. So they are two separate, as you said, one was Pathfinder's, the other one is for HHS.
Regardless, this is ours to fix.
I think so, because it's a
And-
building
and-
issue.
And we will deal with it, Dave.
Okay, so just tell my secretary to disregard the invoices, ma'am.
Yes.
yeah,
Okay, that's what I will do. Any
Yep.
other questions for me then?
No, but thank you for being on today.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
yep, talk to you later.
We're gonna hop on down to number 7 because Austin is just chomping at the bit to get back to work.
I'm off today.
Oh, we'll get Bart back to work.
Yeah.
Come on up here. Austin is here to talk about dogs. So explain to us what you want to do.
So, I met with, I ran into Lee on Friday, it was, we
I
are.
did not get a ticket, so thank you very much.
Yeah.
No.
That's your
So,
mistake.
yeah, so I'm applying for a burn justice assistance grant, it's a federal grant.
Mhm.
We are looking to expand our canine program, so we can have 2 dogs in the county. Right now, I'm asking for a letter of support for this grant. I've already talked to the Fairfield School District, Pekin School District, getting letters of support for those. Also talked to Chauncey, got one from him as well. I just wondered if you guys have any questions about the grant or anything like that.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
I talked to Bart the other day when he was trying to arrest Marshall at the Hy-Vee.
Right.
deal. Explain to me how this works. I know your current dog's getting a little older
Mhm.
and you want a new dog.
Mhm.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly how long our current dog has. I
Mhm.
know they say usually it's 10 years if the dog's in good health. But at the end of the day, we don't know.
I
So
know, I
there's-
get that. I get that.
So there's certain times, when Deputy Rysdam, if he's on vacation or anything like that, we do not have a dog in this county.
Mhm.
Unless it's for emergency situations. Other counties have been helpful in the past and helping us out. But other than that, I mean, we have, as we all know, we have a pretty substantial drug problem in this community, and this would help us a lot. And from a law enforcement perspective, being a little bit more proactive in getting those drugs off the street.
Mhm.
I know most other bordering counties have at least 2.
Mhm.
We're talking if we get into Atumwa, they got 4.
They have 4 drug dogs.
Between the city and the county, yeah, they have 4.
Unbelievable.
It's a
They
good,
need that. I mean, it's
yeah,
good to have.
it's a good tool to have. I mean, it's not just for drug interdiction, which is mainly what they're used for, but tracking missing persons or fleeing felons. I mean, well, I'm sure you guys all heard Waffle County just had that the other day. They had about every single one of their dogs out looking for that guy. So,
Yeah, I'll make a motion to have our chair write a letter of support for this.
Should I second that?
We've already got the letter of support.
I know that, Lee. So of course, I'll second that. Lee will third it.
Oh, we can all sign this one. then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I second that.
All those in favor?
We're on
signify-
top of it a little bit.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Now,
So seconded.
I will.
Okay.
Well, my question is that we can, I realize this is a copy, but you have it on, we get this on a real letterhead, so to speak.
Yeah.
Makes it more official.
Do you have to scan it and send it, or do you send a paper copy?
No, it's on a website, basically, our whole grant
You upload
application. Mhm. Yeah, you can sign it, scan it, email it to me, and then I can,
So you don't need like a fancy original copy. You know, these are
Yeah, okay, yeah, we can just sign this. We'll give you 2, you can have 1 for. You can have one.
Oh, here's a fancy one.
When do you get your dog?
we don't know yet. We get this grant or not.
Not just a book.
So the cost and training of the dog right now is 13,500. That includes the dog, couple equipment, and the 5-week training course that it takes.
Would you as a handler have to be trained when the dog's trained?
Yes.
That's how it works, okay.
Yep. So they would send us, well, we'd go up, I believe it's in Forest City is kind of the vendor we're going through. Meet the dog, get acclimated with the dog, and then it's 5 weeks of training.
I'm just curious, generally, how old is this dog to start with?
About 1.5. Probably. They get shipped in from Poland,
Oh,
Oh,
really?
wow.
Yeah.
most of them.
Well, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll just walk around.
I hope
Yep.
we get to meet the dog when it gets here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do we get to pick the name?
No,
No,
No, it's
no.
unfortunately not.
no, you say
Thank you.
fortunately not.
Thank you.
Just asking.
I just have to ask for it to know.
Okay, next item on the agenda is discussing, discuss and consider the ambulance transition plan. I think we've talked about this off and on.
So what's the latest?
Well, we know that our ambulance is in Mount Pleasant, right? Gotta say that Julie Grayson dropped the ball on that.
How did she drop the ball?
She didn't inform me. I was informed by somebody at care that it was over there, and it was over there for a long time.
I think we all knew it was over there.
Yes,
We just weren't.
So is it
Well,
gonna be
we-
ready Friday?
we don't know. That's up in
Is
the
the
air.
latest
right
I
now.
heard from her is it's gonna be ready for Friday.
No. that's
And
not
they
correct.
got the repairs.
Well, they're
I know
working
Damien
on
had
it.
one over to pick up parts from Fessler's.
Right, they're working on that, but we don't know exactly what the time frame is, so we got a contingency plan in place just in case.
The I'm waiting on a call back from them for today, because I called them Friday, they were already gone.
Do they have
The-
to repair?
The only thing that we're waiting
They
on,
picked up parts.
yeah, it's picked up the part. The only thing, not all the parts. The part that's supposed to be that Wednesday is the only part we're waiting on, is the actual bracket.
Okay. Hey, Bob, I know you're on. Do you have any update for us?
I don't have any update. You can speak directly with Vegas Whaley. He could tell you,
Yeah.
he's the one who's been ordering the parts. He said that there was some difficulty because it was obsolete. And so they were having to remanufacture or remake some
Right.
part. And
Tell you
so
what,
that's all I know.
I'll connect with Julie today, because see, that's still part of the
Yeah.
three-legged stool, and I know it's
Right.
delicate
And that,
transition.
what they were, what he's talking about, that remanufacturing is part of that bracket for that was underneath the truck.
Who
That's
went
what
over
they
there?
were-
Who went over there on Friday or Thursday?
That was me, because he
Okay.
needed that part.
All right. Well, I don't appreciate you telling them that Bob and Denise are liars.
That wasn't even part of that, but okay, thanks.
Okay, so I know we're not supposed to go over there anymore. You got that email. So let me call Julie after the meeting and see what the update is.
Well, it's
Mm.
important that we know what's going on as well.
Yeah, and I came down Friday to tell you that Julia told me it was gonna be ready next Friday. And then you said, no, it's not gonna be ready till October.
Yeah, they weren't even saying till then either.
So
And that was straight out of their mouth.
right now, this week, we need to go through her.
That's fine, but then we just need
And I'll
to,
call her after the meeting
get it
and we'll
done.
get the update.
So,
If not, we have a contingency
Right,
plan with Van Buren
right,
County.
yes.
okay, let's,
Good.
Julie,
I've
just
already
said,
talked to.
thank you. Let me recap here. Everybody should realize the milk stool has control until, actually, till Saturday. So anything needs to go through them. Tell Dee is on that committee. She will then get right on whatever the issue is. Okay?
Yeah, and the plan is, and I know you were at the meeting last week,
Right.
the ambulance, that on Friday morning, the other two members of the three-legged stool are gonna go into Vanessa's office, sign the title, and I'm gonna go in, sign it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take it over to the auditor's office. So, Bob, do you know what time we're gonna get those ambulances on Friday?
Yep, it's set up for 10 o'clock.
Okay,
And Brian and I have discussed that.
okay,
Yes.
good.
Okay. We just, Bob, we just wanted to kind of reiterate all that so everybody knows. And here's the same thing at the same time.
Right.
Watch your facial expressions.
Yep, 10 o'clock. I might even do it sooner. How's that?
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Yep, it'll be washed and waxed and detailed.
Good.
Anyway, thank you for that. Now, Judy, you said something about another part of the transition.
Yes,
plan.
if
And what is
for
that?
whatever reason we don't get them back in time, William Klein has offered, I'll know more this morning, but
Right.
he doesn't think it'll be a problem that he can come and bring a rig to cover 911
And William Klein is,
for Van Buren County.
and he is the ambulance director down there? or-
Yes,
Is
yes.
that the one, do we have to rent that one, or how does that work?
No, he's gonna give me more of the detail. I asked him what it would cost if we
Sure.
needed to hire them to come in and cover until we get our
Sure.
second rig
And,
back. so
and
we
you'll
can get-
keep all three of us in the loop of what's going on?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very
as soon
much.
as
Just
I
send us
talked to
all
him
an email and
yesterday.
let us know.
Yep.
So there's another issue as I see it, and I don't know what the answer to this is. I can speculate that that would be.
Okay, what is it?
If you don't get that second ambulance back from Mount Pleasant,
We don't get.
then we don't get licensed.
Until we have both of them.
Is that?
You know, I think
That is.
we all need to have positive thought that that's gonna happen. And we'll deal with it when it doesn't happen, okay?
But then we have to have another rig to to be able to do, or at least
Did
we
you
gotta have a
have,
conversation with somebody, because one rig doing 911, I mean, we're gonna be right where we're at
Well,
right
no,
now.
what we're gonna do is Van Buren will cover until we get that rig back, and if it's not Friday, it'll be Saturday or Sunday, and we'll adjust as we move forward.
Thank you for that, because I think
Yes.
right now we can only afford to be positive with this thing. Because we all want to have that ambulance a week from today
Oh, yes, absolutely.
to talk about it. Along with, I guess, some other stuff to tell you. Huh? Okay, Lee, good job. Lee can count. Take a note. All the big doors are in. All the
Yes.
little doors are in.
Yes.
All the windows are in. They're working on some inside trim on the windows today. Today, the washer and dryer will be there hopefully between 1 and 3. And that will be assembled. They're working, the countertop did not come in today. They're now saying tomorrow. That's what I know. I know there were people working there before 7 a.m. this morning when you all were still sleeping.
I was at the gym, so.
So you say they don't know my dog, trust me, I was not sleeping at 7 a.m. But I would like to ask a question, because I'd like to thank whomever will it about the washer and dryer.
Correct. Pleasant surprise.
Well, we want to keep you guys clean. Not you, you guys.
Oh, yeah. We don't want any dirty people working for us.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of in the furnace room,
Yes.
right there on the wall. It's really nice. It's gonna be really nice. It's detachable, so if one unit goes bad, all you need to do is replace that one unit.
Excellent.
Um,
Hopefully that won't be for a long time.
never know.
in today's world, it'll be about next month.
Right.
So if you drive by the ambulance building today, it looks really nice on the outside. It's they've still gotta have people clean it. There is an issue maybe with not having the stove in on time,
Right, okay.
but I think you can live with that.
Yes, they just
Little-
have to hook up we have a stove, but we just need to hook it for it and
Okay.
they're working on that.
Okay.
Okay, I got an air fryer.
I understand. Anyway, Judy, do you want to say something?
No, he was asking me a question.
Don't pay attention. So that's just what I know today. I'll know more tomorrow. We're still on track for Wednesday morning, okay? It depends on how today goes. This is how it'll work. When you guys can get in, I'll tell these two first.
Okay,
Then I'm gonna call you,
excellent.
okay?
While we're on that
Yeah,
planning mode, how are we gonna handle inspection? The 3 of us are not gonna be there, correct?
it'd be best if we were not there.
For the
Yeah.
state inspection?
Yeah.
Yeah. it's
So
probably
will you
best.
notify all 3 of us as soon as it's over?
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Hey, actually, how about telling all three of us when it is?
You'll see the fireworks. Well, tentatively, if we get the rig back on Friday,
Mhm.
then we have it scheduled for Saturday at 10.
Right.
If, as we go forward today and tomorrow, if we find out that rig's gonna be a little bit late, then we'll have to delay the inspection to either Sunday or Monday. But we have to have that.
But you've got the contingency plan, so I can
That's
see all this.
yes.
Okay.
Didn't have breakfast.
Lee, any more thoughts?
No, just, even though I still don't know for sure, I would say thank you for the washer and dryer.
Yes, thank you very much.
Now, you'll need quarters to operate.
Perfect.
We're gonna have to
Lee,
square
give us your
jar.
quarters.
We're gonna have to square jar, so I'm sure it'll fill up fast.
Right.
There you go, recycle.
At any rate, we all need to keep everybody informed of everything.
Yes.
Let me see here. That was an update on that. any more about the ambulance transition plan? I think we've kind of covered all that.
We're tracking, and it's a fluid situation, so as it changes, you know.
Yeah. Next item is discuss and consider hiring Troy Elmore as a full-time EMT, Jefferson County Ambulance Service. Do I understand that he's already been hired? You're changing his job description.
Right, there was in the job description that we put out earlier, it was
It was what?
misworded, but
I
corrected it.
typed it in wrong. I had like William blended that day between him and William when I typed both of theirs in the wrong way. Didn't get it changed from part-time.
Can we afford to work full-time people? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm concerned about us.
They were already in our plan of being full-time. Just when I wrote them out, I did not get that changed.
Can you send us a copy of their schedule for like October, just so we have an idea of how
I'm
that's gonna
trying to,
work?
it's gonna fluctuate. It's not gonna stay the same, but.
Well,
yeah,
at
I
least the
can-
staffing pattern,
What's that?
the staffing pattern.
Yeah.
And how many shifts are you two gonna work?
I have 2, he has 1 or 2 next week, just to make sure that everything's going smooth.
Sure.
Good.
At least 1 a week, probably.
So,
Making that happen.
thanks. You seem you're gonna make that a habit?
No, oh no, not with my work.
Anyway, I make a motion that we amend Troy Elmore's status to the full-time EMT. Is that correct, Judy?
Yes.
And I'll need a second on that motion.
Second.
Motion seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passed.
And those 2 are just doing 36 hours a week.
Okay. Next item is discussing, it's the same situation.
Right.
Discussing and consider hiring William Franklin as a full-time EMT for the Jefferson County Ambulance Service. I would make a motion that we do, again, amend his job title. All those, we have a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very
These
much.
are just 36 hours, right?
Yeah, they're both
Yeah.
just 36
So let's
hours.
give us a moment to catch up on signatures.
Susie, can I ask you a question?
Oh, of course, Chris.
So
A minute.
just to clarify, the handbook's 37.5 for full-time. So 36 is by special resolution. I'm just asking for a point of clarification as a department manager. I'm just
Are
asking.
you making, are you applying this to the ambulance service? Because I would think the ambulance service is in its fledgling stages. They aren't gonna know for sure exactly.
That's why I'm asking for a point of clarification as a department manager and what the handbook says.
Well, we need to follow the handbook.
We went through and part of it, it says 32
Yeah,
also. for
32
full-time.
hours is eligible for insurance.
But does that say full-time though? I thought 37.5 was full-time. I'm just
I think we
asking
need
for
to ask Jack.
clarification.
Chris, I agree with Dee. We will ask Jack and get back with you. Okay, next item on the
I'll
agenda.
just look in the book and I'll,
I-
it's in the book.
Next item is to discuss and consider adding the treasurer to the Jefferson County Ambulance Service Bank account.
Yeah, that's, just, we need to have somebody else on it, and he's already on the one with conservation. And it makes sense to have him on it, so he'll get a copy of the statements.
Right, but I mean, we got to keep everything one way. We can't be having somebody write checks here and.
He's not gonna.
checks
He's just gonna be
checks. He's just gonna be
Okay,
getting a copy of the statements and stuff. It's just to protect everybody.
right, no,
Yeah, if I was you, I'd feel very comfortable with the treasurer's doing this because he's gonna help you keep track of the money.
I,
Okay.
right.
And he does the same thing with the conservation board.
Okay, has there been a motion on the floor?
I'll make a motion to add the treasurer to the ambulance bank account.
I second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you very much. We've already done the dog, so we're gonna move on to public health update. Chris wanted to tell us what's going on in her office now. Thank you, Brian.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, you are on the agenda later on.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I wanted to give you guys an update. I'm sure you already know that Dan Miller has submitted his retirement date as of October 31st. And the board is going to have a special meeting on October 2nd to determine what they're going to do in the interim and then moving forward, what they're going to do. Dee, I got your email. Lee was at our meeting. Joe's here. He serves on the Board of Health. So if he wants to add anything, there's been a lot of discussion previously on what that may look like. That's the Board of Health's decision on what they want to do as far as coverage for the county, contract versus employment. So there'll be more to come on that. By code, the Board of Health's responsible for that. So we'll see what that looks like. I'll send you guys the agenda. I don't know if you want it on your meeting agenda. If you do, Abby probably would like to know that now, since that's just next October 2nd, 6 o'clock. I'm gonna send the agenda out later today or tomorrow morning to our chair so she can review it before it's posted. So, do you guys have any questions about that? Want to let you know that I hosted a meeting with the Director of Health and Human Services and the Governor on September 8th. That went well.
Governor Ennis was here.
Yes,
That's so
she
nice
was.
of her let us know
So
she's
what was
here.
the outcome of that?
It was just for gathering information. There was no outcome or objective. She was just gathering information before the assignment or before the alignment assessment was released.
Who all attended it?
It was by invitation by the Governor and Health and Human Services. So I was asked to host the meeting. So we had it at the hospital. There was 4 other health departments, some mental health people. Jack was there from mental health because Rayanne was out. CETA, Optime. So yeah, she just asked good questions, but it was quite an honor to be asked to host. So it was a good meeting. Pardon me? No, we didn't have donuts. I did get cookies. I ordered cookies and drinks from the hospital. So anyway, because I did not know when they asked me to host if the governor was coming, and then later they said that she would be coming. So yeah. Let's see. The nurses are busy doing immunization audits. You know, every year we do immunization audits with the schools and daycare. So their school nurses have to review those immunization records, and then they're due to the state October and then December for schools and childcare centers. So they're busy reviewing all those immunization records. So I have a question about what transpired last Monday. I was out of the office. Shannon sent me an email on Friday. I was out of the office on Friday, and you guys had a resolution before you. I didn't even see the resolution until you already took action on it. So the $17,000 that was in the donation account is my understanding. It's not part of the CARES money, but Shannon's not here. It's my understanding it was part of the money that the state sent initially during the pandemic. So that money was set aside in that account, and I don't know why we put it in there. I'd have to ask Shannon again because it's been a couple of years ago. So my question is why it was done without having a conversation with me or giving me an opportunity to talk to the Board of Health. This is the second time that's happened to my departmental budget.
It's our understanding the auditors were here and made that recommendation, so that will be a question for.
Well, I understand that, Dee, but you guys took action on it. You didn't even ask if I had any questions or if I had a chance to inform the Board of Health. It's been sitting there for quite some time, so we've been through 2 audit processes with Anderson and Larkin before that money was removed.
That's all we know is what the auditors.
Chris, that's right. That's all we know. They asked us, told us we should do that. But
That's the second time though, is what I'm saying. That money's been taken out of an approved budget for the Board of Health without the Board of Health's knowledge or information or input.
It wasn't out of the budget, wasn't it? Just moved from the general fund to the.
It was taken from our line item back to the general fund, Dee.
Okay, we'll have to wait till Shannon.
yeah,
gets
because
back
I
and
have
give her
questions
explain it.
about that, Chris, as well, but I just want to know.
The Board of Health has questions as well.
Sure.
So
I know. And who's your chair now?
Christy Nystrom, Melissa's the vice chair.
So I also, excuse me, I also think that even if all other things being equal, if indeed it's not CARES money, we still have to go back and revisit it because the resolution said CARES money and that's.
Correct. That's correct.
So that would have to be changed as well, as far as I'm concerned. And there is, and maybe this is a question also for Elizabeth, because I think Chris a good point that honestly I hadn't thought of. When we approve budget, of course, the only thing we have jurisdiction over is that amount of money that, the amount of money that we appropriate towards our budget. Or to.
The Board of Health budget, yeah.
Once the Board of Health determines the line items or what funds what, and of course, law, as you're both well aware of, as well as Chris, the law also determines what certain monies can be used for, if it's grants or if it's whatever you call that, Chris, that money you were just talking about.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So the question then becomes, and I understand, if I understand the way it was explained to us, we allegedly paid for something out of our
Salaries.
budgets or whatever, and then this was to reimburse the money that came out of it. So all of that stuff, I get all that, but I agree with Chris in the context of, I think we need to have some legal clarification, because once that is established and it says, and believe me, you know, I have butted heads with the Board of Health and with the attorneys over the Board of Health's autonomy for years. Okay, and I don't mean that disrespectfully.
It's a state issue, it's not a Chris issue.
Right. But if the Board of Health has the autonomy, if Joe Ledger says that this is going to be used for red polka dot underwear, and then we, meaning the Board of Supervisors, remove that funding, I'm not sure legally we have the authority to do that. I don't know we don't, I just don't know that we do.
So I think I hear you saying we need to revisit this. We need to
Yeah.
talk to Shannon. We have some work to do.
Yeah,
We
there's a
need to
couple of
talk to
fronts there that
Elizabeth.
I think we need to look at.
I'd like to have a meeting before the budget process with the county attorney and you guys and a member of the board. We tried this before. I know when the money was removed from my department to pay for the juveniles, it came without warning, it came without input, and it was instructed to me that we can and we will remove this money, and that's exactly what happened.
Okay, when was that?
That's when Darren removed the money to pay for the juveniles housing. It'll be 2 years ago, March.
Okay.
I don't have an exact date.
Chris, I understand what your angst, but
I'm not angst. I'm asking for clarification in a process
and we're gonna
where
do
a
that.
department
That's over
manager
the
does
bridge.
not have
That water is down
autonomy
the
to a
bridge.
budget. I understand that, but it happened yet again, Susie.
And we
Can
said we were
is
gonna
that
talk about
something
this
where
and look at it, because you have a valid
Anderson
point.
Be here as well, or do we need somebody from Anderson Larkin? Since they're the ones that recommended we do this? Have a conversation
Well,
about it.
that's a good idea, because they're the ones that didn't, yeah,
I don't know.
it's a real good idea.
Yeah, I'd like to know why they thought we had to do that.
I have some emails and back and forth, but it's not appropriate at this moment to read those. So I'm just asking for clarification in the whole entire process.
And we'll try to start figuring that out on Monday.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions
No.
about what the board's doing or what that looks like, or
Did you really use it for red polka dot?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I got striped instead.
Oh,
Anything else?
No, thank you,
Okay,
Chris.
thanks.
Okay, make committee reports.
My addendum, we already reported on that. Sitka, which Dwayne reported on. So, I guess that was it for us.
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, I had an ECI meeting, as you're well aware of, that you did not attend on my behalf. We had an extended conversation regarding, and I spoke with Susie briefly about this, but we had a conversation, a long extended conversation. The daycare, the new daycare, Little Achievers, or whatever it is, requested $10,000 from us to do an assessment of their, well, essentially, their finances. And They wanted to have an analysis, financial administrative policies, and a 3-year monthly cash flow and budget projections. Well, first off, I don't know why in the world
What would you
we
say?
would pay for that. Number one. Number two, I recommended or suggested to the board that it was inappropriate for us to have this conversation without somebody from Little Achievers so that we can ask questions of them.
Right,
And then I also broached the subject that we only have $11,000 in that particular line item, not because we've spent it. It's just, Williamsburg asked for money to help for a playground, the new playground equipment. And I made the comment, which is near and dear to Susie's heart as well. We have not appropriated any funding from ECI or anywhere else to community childcare. And it seems to me, you know, we ponied up $500,000 out of ARPA funds to the daycare. They got a $600,000 grant. The city appropriated over 200,000. I don't know what Cambridge put in it. And for them to come and ask for $10,000 to do their own finances is to me beyond the pale.
yeah. Now, I think it might, and again, it's been a while since
Right.
I've been on ECI, but when that whole process for with the original, you know, there was an assessment done and 22-member steering committee and the community was involved in that.
Right.
And on that, there were opportunities for existing childcare centers and existing in-home providers to receive funds during that whole process. What they received, I can't remember. Tammy would know. but
Right. And
They had
Tammy,
a
and Tammy
chance.
indicated community childcare has received nothing. But
They
my,
have received nothing.
yeah, but my point is that even beyond that is I asked the board and we tabled it. I don't think it's appropriate to be taking money out of that line item for that purpose,
Right. No, that makes
especially
sense.
since that's a limited line item. So
Mhm.
we're asking somebody from Little Achievers to meet in our next board meeting. And we're asking Susie to be, I'm just kidding. So that's what took place. It was one of the more interesting meetings. I did speak with Steve at KMCD. We have a good time. And we are meeting, I say we, Sean, myself, Becky, Gina, and I've yet to hear back from
John Morrissey?
Chauncey.
Uh,
Sandy also tomorrow at 7:15 PM here regarding Jackson. PM, yeah, regarding Jackson
Wow.
Point, because they all have day jobs and stuff.
Sure.
So, at any rate, long story short, I reached out to Area 15 and Sandy reached out to, I can't think of the name of the company. They both expressed interest in property management of Jackson Point. Keyway would like to move on if possible.
Mhm.
So we're having the process. Chauncey thought that it would be best that we put out an RFP. And so that's going to be part of the discussion tomorrow night. So, and anybody's welcome to attend. I mean, it's not, so we don't necessarily know, but it worked for Becky and
And that'd be nice if somebody in the area could do that, because now this Keyway is not in the area.
right. So that's as much as I know about where we're at in that process, but we're trying to make something happen.
You know, Lee, I'm really glad that committee is finally getting together to talk about this.
Yeah, and it has indeed been a very and not because people don't care or they haven't done the right things. It's just been.
Yeah.
I'll bet it was as confusing setting it up as it is trying to get out of it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be that hard to get out of it. But when money's involved and tax dollars and, you know, because the investment company, that's what they were in it for, was they could squeeze tax credits out of it, which is how we do it. It's how we did the Loudon's building.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, which is a sore spot in my mind.
it is.
How was Spotlight?
It was fun. You know, I mean, you know, we always have a good time. Especially ever since he he told me a story one time about when he was a kid, he used to sneak in with some friends of his church and ring the church bell in the middle of the night. And I said, well, that sounds like something I'd do. So at the end of that particular conversation, I said, hey, next time you want to go ring a church bell, give me a holler. So, we're gonna go ring some church
I can
bells.
see it now.
Hasn't called yet.
Yeah, that's the call yet. So anyway, well, there he is right there. That's all I have. Thank you.
You had the Board of Health. You went to the Board of Health.
Oh, I did go to the Board of Health, but I was just an observer. As Chris indicated, they've got some research
Trying to
to
help
do.
you.
Like she said, they're meeting on October 2nd. And we'll see what comes of that.
D,
And definitely Dan is not going to be our weed commissioner. Which
Right,
we can deal with that on a later date, but
So can I ask a question, clarification for the Board of Supervisors? Under that umbrella, I'm assuming that you want the environmental health person, whomever that is, whether it's contractor or individual, that you want that to be part of their job description as well. Do you have a job description for weed commissioner? Or do you reference a code? I'm just trying to gather stuff to help the Board of
I
Health.
don't think
I'd
we
like
can
the
make a
board to
decision.
have a discussion about, we've got several folks out of county shed that are certified to do that.
and somebody ought to talk to.
I think that's a conversation we need to have.
Right.
And we should, you want to put that on our agenda for next Monday?
We can.
Okay,
Abby said we could.
Okay.
thank you. I'm just asking.
No, I mean,
While we're all here, or part of us are here. Joe's here.
it's not like they're not out on the road
Right,
already, right? So,
thank you.
So I had a Semco meeting, which they canceled after I got there. I didn't get to listen to Lee on Spotlight.
Because you were at the ambulance.
Yeah. At any rate, the ambulance meeting was, I thought, pretty good by the time it ended. There was a lot of discussions. I considered another step we made it through.
We're getting there.
Lee or Dee, do you have anything?
No, I already mentioned, we talked about
Okay.
mine, it's
Okay.
in the ambulance.
Okay. And thanks for attending all our meetings through Zoom land.
That's been a couple weeks.
I know, but I can still give you bedtime. Allow claims and approve reports, but.
Yeah, I'm looking at these and I got a question for us. And it's only a question
for what?
for us.
Oh.
Since we're on that topic. So American Rescue Plan under here, it has for campground development, French Rediker. So that I'm assuming, and again, Shannon's not here. We need to ask Sean about that. It's $2,300 and some change. But as part of our American Rescue, we just need to talk logistics with him. We did that piece of land and then we have these matching funds, so this would be considered part of those matching funds.
Oh, well, I would think so.
Yeah, but we need to ask.
I mean, I think it'd be coming out of that 440,000.
Right, but that's the question. And again, Shannon's not.
And she
There's
did.
grant money that wasn't passed through as well. Isn't that something that's going on to?
Well, yes, but it shouldn't, I'm
It
sure
shouldn't
Shannon didn't
come out.
label it as ARPA funds,
We just need to talk to Sean
Yeah.
and see how this is being handled.
because it's labeled on there as ARPA.
It's under ARPA funding. And I want to go through each of these items to make sure.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Right.
saying,
the right
Stood at the
place.
counter and had the discussion with her.
I'm sorry, what?
I know he stood at the counter and
Okay.
had the discussion with her.
But that's why I mean, if it was coming out of that grant money, there's no way she would put it under ARPA, so it's our match.
Yeah,
But, we need to.
we need to have further discussion on that item.
And then, okay, the next item is for Krisner, it's the $5,000 and we did approve that. Remember a while back, that payment of
Oh, yes,
$5,000.
yeah, that was
Okay.
what we had sitting in escrow.
The next ones are ambulance related, and I want to make sure that this board wants them under ARPA, or do we want some of these under operational,
right.
okay?
Which
So
one-
here
which
we
of
are.
the two?
Can I just say one thing?
Sure,
You guys
absolutely.
do sign off on these before they do get paid.
Okay,
I'm not saying you can't have the discussion, I'm just saying you're signing off on them already.
you're
That's why
right.
we're asking for the signatures so that they, Darcy's not having to do a bunch of journal entries.
Those are the ones they give us ahead of time,
Uh-huh,
individually.
uh-huh. I don't think, I mean, I feel that we still should have a right to look at these and decide.
That's
'cause
not
you
what
can
I'm
back it
saying.
out, okay.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you're wanting to now maybe change where these lines have been,
Mhm,
they've already been expended
mhm.
out of the budget.
You've already written the check
Yeah,
and sent the check?
no, we don't send them until you
Till we
sign
approve
off on them.
Okay,
But these were done on Thursday with the signatures already.
And those are individual signatures, and now we're as a group, and it's on our agenda, so
So
we can
this
talk
is,
about it.
this is coming full circle then. We used to just code your bills and you didn't sign off on them. And then you started looking at them and saying, well, we didn't want it paid out of here. And that's why we started having you sign off on them so that we didn't have all these journal entries showing in the books.
and I understand that. I just think, well, I guess this one bill that I'm gonna talk about hasn't been signed by all three of us.
Right.
Okay,
It hasn't, there's no check written for that one.
Okay.
It's been held out.
so the other ones, just for the sake of communication.
Okay,
So there's some ambulance evac, the physicals, publications, medical supplies. There's a few of those, the striker chairs, and that one definitely, and the cellular. So those are the ones that are in here on the ambulance ones.
Well, those would all fall under what I would term startup costs.
Right. I just wanted to make sure, since we're all together, because
Right.
I do think we need to talk about this all together, and I understand this conversation. And I
maybe,
also respect what Abby just
maybe
said.
what we need to do is start talking about these all together and then sending them further than individually.
I feel in a lot of situations that would be proper to do.
What date is it?
Today's the 25th. It's my mom's birthday.
All right, what do you have?
I've got a bill here. I see our ambulance director is not here.
He's
Oh,
behind
he is
you.
back
Behind
there.
you.
Then hop up here. You're just such a quiet little guy. I didn't know you were that.
Well,
You're like a T-Rex, you can't see unless there's movement.
nobody's talking to you, Connor.
You know, I would agree, however, that nobody was talking to you, Connor.
Right. Sorry, who you work?
So Brian,
Yes.
you know what I'm gonna talk about.
What's
The
that?
Bridge City Home Store and Appliance Mattress stuff.
Yes, and we got a quote from, what's the name of it?
McGregor's.
McGregor's.
And
Yes.
was it similar?
No,
No, it's $4,900, almost $5,000.
it was almost $5,000 for $1,600 for 4 beds.
Right.
Yeah.
And 4 beds through them with the thing was literally $5,000.
Okay, let's let Brian talk,
What they said. Yes.
Review it for me, please.
because this is a bill.
5,000 for 4 beds,
Okay.
and we got it for 1,600.
That's more like what Hometown Furniture in Mount Pleasant would do. I just bought a mattress there, a queen,
No.
for $499.
Okay.
So that's why my angst of seeing that
Right.
$6,682.99
That's
for a, geez, queen size
correct.
beds. A rocker recliner, a reclining console, love seat, sofa,
And we are well with,
and I see you've got your stove in here, the Manor Range. when I had talked to you, I said, get another bid, because I was concerned with the.
Right, but we're.
And not just because it's you, it's just
Right.
because I think we need to be careful of all the money because.
No,
of
I
the county.
understand, but we're well within our budget. And.
And we want to stay clear under the budget,
Well, and.
because we
understand.
know the budget is kind of a shot in the dark.
Yeah, and there'll be
next
stuff
year.
that comes up that you guys weren't even thinking
No,
of.
no, and I
know.
understand, but
Mhm.
you know, when the budget's been approved and we stay well within that budget.
I still would like,
That's-
when it's a higher dollar amount, I think the citizens of the county would expect us to ask you to
Right,
get
but
bids.
I would ask for a little leeway considering we're opening up in a week. And this
So
is-
what made
this
you
is a
choose
new-
Bridge City?
We start casting
These guys are
on
from
it,
here on
Okay,
just so we could get other things
Yeah.
done, but they were the only ones that were willing to do in that 30. Initially, when they had talked to him, the guy wasn't really keen on doing that, and as soon as he found out what it was for, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to help you guys out. So he was-
well, you know, it's not really, it's not just your department. I'm like this with all the money.
Right, no, I understand. I'm just used to whenever my experience has been, when you're given a budget, as long as you stay within that budget or under your budget, then it's all good.
So you say, if you're given a budget, and we've given you one,
Yes.
but you don't care to keep it, to make sure that it's.
No,
spent.
no, it's not that I care. It's the fact that I'm keeping it under budget.
And I know you
It's-
are,
and it
but
shouldn't
I
be.
just,
But you guys also told us the budget was high this year because you didn't know some things, so we want it to be as much under as it can be. And again, it's taxpayer money, it's not,
Understood.
it's not a
Brian,
budget with, we have, 5 years of budget history, this is a new service,
Exactly, and which I have experience with.
so.
But
and what happened to, I'm sorry, I'm a jerk. What happened to, you might be able to get the stuff donated? Did you just run out of time?
I don't have a lot of time. Neither does anybody else.
I know,
We've
but
been
you said
working
this
13 hours a
initially
day.
3 months ago, so I figured,
Well, that kind of fell by the wayside. I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah,
And
and Brian, it's all about communication. Just tell the three of us what's going on.
right, understood.
Okay.
And sometimes, we get caught up.
I understand that. I understand
A
that.
lot. And my job is to get this ambulance up and going. by
And, and
Saturday.
and trust me, your three bosses feel the same way.
Right.
So you did get another quote? Is that what you said?
From McGregor's.
Yes, sir.
Yes, McGregor's for those queen size beds that there were $399 a piece.
So I'm
There,
confused.
now hold on a minute.
Now be nice.
I am. So then at McGregor's, literally for 4 queen size beds and their stands was $5,000. With the stands and the beds, $1,600.
So we're going with the 1,600?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know, I was just.
That's what I was trying to
Bottom
explain
line
to
here.
you, and then you wanted to interrupt with it. I'm just saying.
Okay. Just be nice when you explain.
I am being nice, but I was getting to that point. Let me get to that point. Okay?
Okay. So what are we gonna do with this?
Can we look at it first?
Brian, it's just because I'm a jerk with money.
No,
You
no,
know
I
that.
understand, but I also know we're up against a deadline and.
And
gotta
we
have a
are
little bit of
well aware of
leeway.
it, that I'm at that ambulance building every morning at 7 a.m.
Right. Understood.
making sure you have electricity. and light.
Electricity is good.
And we've decided to let you have an office.
Right, and I appreciate that very much.
But Lee can't have an office. Lee has to stay here.
Lee's office is in the North Pole.
That's really good.
Is this the North Pole?
What?
On some days.
Good suggestion.
Some days it's over on the square.
So this is for
Around the
more
house.
than the beds, it's also for the other items that you.
That's correct, yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
no, I mean, the other items look,
Yeah,
Reasonably
when are these
priced.
gonna be delivered?
Hopefully,
Thursday.
Hopefully,
Thursday.
okay.
They said
so
Thursday.
yeah,
that's
The
correct.
27th.
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
gonna have help? They'll unload them and set them up?
They're-
No,
That's-
they just drop them off.
Installation, everything.
Nope, they do insulation and everything. That's what that.
I don't have to lift the
That's
thing.
fantastic.
That's good,
No.
Because they'll put the beds together.
because I'm pretty sure you, well, that one.
I think
Makes
the other
my
thing
life
too
easier.
is that it's been a difficult process. And Dee alluded to it, you alluded to it, it's a new service, or it's a new department, or it's a new whatever, it's a new everything. And you're trying to get everything all set up and, you know, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You're talking about, you had absolutely nothing, 0 6 miles. There was nothing. We have never in 50 years had anything here. It's always been somebody else's. So here we are.
Yeah.
Doing our best, all of us, you know, collectively. And yes, we have questions, which we are supposed to have questions, and trying to make these things work. I would have never, when setting and interviewing folks and we were talking about doing this, I never thought about how much trouble we had setting up accounts with people. I just thought, well, hell, it's county. Why is there any question? But, you know, getting these net 30s, I remember talking about, we had these conversations regarding, I believe it was Boundary, trying to get up net 30s, you know, with them and this and that, whatnot, because the way counties do business, you know, we don't pay for things that we don't have. And so we have to get these things and then they invoice us and the auditors want to see that and all of this. It absolutely boggled my mind, the pushback that we got from a lot of organizations, and it's the way they do business, and I'm not finding fault, but trying to establish all of that. It's just, it really is incredible what we collectively with the hospital and everything else, what we've been able to accomplish in a relatively short period of time. And I think if I'm not mistaken, if we were all to take a look, the three of us, not only is that under budget, the entire operation at this point in time is under budget.
Now, that's something, you know, we don't know that.
Well, I don't know
Because
that
they
for
need to do a
sure.
better job of communicating with us.
Right, but I don't know that for sure either.
But we have informed the board that we are under budget. We didn't have a solid number until the other day. We're like,
I know
that we're in the budget.
I know Judy has been very good about,
As of right now, from what I have calculated for my receipts and everything, we've only spent 193,000. That's
Right.
20,000 more.
what's all that entail, Judy?
That entails all of our supplies, all the electricity over there, Risco. It includes our medical director, what she's charged us.
Can I ask what she's charged us?
Right now, she's only charged us for her malpractice insurance of $2,900. So.
She's being very
yeah,
kind.
she's very
Yes,
kind.
that's all of like the lawn care, the water bill, everything. That's
Yeah.
everything that I have kept records of. It's all.
So you say it's only, you've only spent,
193. That doesn't include what's on the building because I don't know anything about that part of it yet.
I know we've paid one big building check, but, and I know there'll be another one coming really soon.
Yeah, from what I have for receipts, it's 193,000.
As far as this goes.
I
think
appreciate that.
Considering the furniture you're getting, it's good. I
It
think
is
it's
a good.
good.
deal,
I'm
yes,
glad
ma'am.
you looked elsewhere.
Oh, yeah, and thanks for checking with somebody else.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Washer dryer, you've been under budget too.
Well, I didn't know about the washer and dryer until Steve had mentioned something. I'm like, I'm glad you brought one. I didn't know you could fit it in your sleigh.
It's used, it's out of my kitchen also.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to tell us? What don't we know?
Right now, I don't know a whole lot of things until I can check my email and see what's going to happen about these, the ambulance being ready possibly by Friday. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Did you guys, you and Bob make arrangements or whatever the conversations you all had on Tuesday regarding the striker cot and the stair chairs and whatever?
Yes, Darcy has that. She's supposed to be cutting the check, and as soon as I have that, we'll meet up. Probably Friday. I don't like to pay for them. I don't have.
My question is, are they being delivered to you or do you guys have to go pick them up?
They're gonna be, actually, we haven't worked out those details yet, but as soon as we do, I'll let you know.
Yeah, would you please?
I will.
And just send us an email.
I will. Yes,
And
ma'am.
I do want to let you know that Cassie the other day was looking for something for supplies, cabinets or something, and she went on Harbor Freight and noticed there was like a first responder
Oh, that's right.
like donation, and she ended up getting a $400 in-store gift card that we can
Correct.
use.
Oh, nice.
Tell Cassie, thank you. Is there anything else you want to tell us, Judy?
No, we just got a lot to do.
That's right. I mean,
I
there
can't
is.
believe I'm gonna ask this. Was there anything else you would like to tell us, Damien?
Honey, I have nothing for once.
I don't.
Right, what time is it?
I've got
Mark this moment, right?
Right?
But I do want to say thanks to Damien for,
Yeah, I think
all that
he's,
time on the rig. trying
well,
to
and
get
he
all
has
that
he has
information.
kept us all
Yes.
apprised of what's going on, and we really appreciate
I'm not
that.
a mechanic, so I don't know any of that. That's why he's the go-to man.
Yeah,
I don't choose to know anything about mechanics, don't want to know.
well, everybody has their own lane. Okay.
I have one question.
I,
Where do you want us to call when we need to do a transfer? Do you want us to call the base? Do you want us to call 911? Okay, all right, perfect. I just need that.
Well, that'll be a good way to track it too.
Shelley, thank you.
Thank you for attending.
Is there anything else? I'd asked Charles about the ambulance, but I don't know if he wants to talk about that.
Charles, you want to talk about the ambulance?
No, I'm not gonna talk about an ambulance, but I'm just gonna make a comment.
Sure.
As I have listened to you folks discuss money expenditures. If I understood something right, on this bed thing, you got something way under the money, and then somebody else gave you a quote for $5,000. Am I right?
Yes.
Here's what's going on, and from a taxpayer standpoint.
Before you start, that $5,000 quote didn't include everything that the $6,000 quote did.
Exactly.
It's apples and oranges. It looked like the
There
five.
was a sofa, a refrigerator, a stove, the beds, and then whatever else was on there. So for what we got for furniture was less than the 4 queen beds.
Okay.
The 5,000 was only for beds.
Yeah,
And
so
the
anyway, I
6,000
still
is
want
for a lot of things.
Charles, go ahead.
Here's the comment I'm gonna make, it's the killing blow. 1, 2, 3, you folks are the people driving the golden goose. And if they think they can badger you or give you some kind of a quote, you're just gonna fall for it and spend $5,000, what the hell everything included with it. You'll fall for it, or somebody gives you a decent price for way under the money.
Charles, I think the way this happened, we got a $6,800 quote for all the stuff. And then I asked Brian to get another bid, get another quote, and he did that. But that quote was just for the beds.
Okay.
So essentially,
So you're dealing with half of the loaf of bread.
yeah, the $5,000 quote
Yeah,
was half a
it's
loaf
only
of
part
bread,
of
and it wasn't probably a good loaf of bread either.
Okay, then I'm sorry, but like I said, I appreciate everything the three of you are doing, the funeral or the ambulance director here, anybody involved. But just be careful, so you're not the person with the golden goose, because everybody sees, we the taxpayers are come 30 September, we're gonna put into the coffer. Well, you're the people who's gonna spend the money,
Yeah.
and I'm not out to abuse you.
And that's what we're
I
trying to
think
save
you're doing a
money.
good job, so.
We
I
try to
have
watch the money. We've been quite annoying watching the money. I mean, we ask a lot of questions about the money.
And I respect that, because in my idea, you're elected to accomplish that.
That's
Right.
correct.
That's
And I'm
correct.
not trying to be mean.
You're not mean.
No, I just want to make sure everybody understands. The original 5,000 was only for beds. This $6,682 is
That's
for
for everything.
beds, a recliner, a love seat, a sofa,
Which
the
would,
bed frames, a fridge, a range. So
which would lead.
we
you
got a
to
lot
believe-
more for the
yes.
money by getting another bed.
I agree with you. I found out this winter when I was staying at my daughter's after my triple bypass, they didn't have a recliner down the basement, and I wanted one to feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
So my daughter took me one afternoon looking, I mean, tell you, I almost had a heart attack when I got there and they showed me the price.
I know.
We found out, that we just went home and I made do with what I had in their basement.
Mhm.
But like I said, after I come home, we bought a new one for Karen. Yeah, I got it, Marshall's in Washington,
Yeah.
and yes, it didn't come for free.
But you got a good one.
But here's the other thing that I guess I'll say it. I thought about this while you was talking about it. You're setting this whole thing up from scratch. And you know that.
Yeah.
The people working there need to have the comforts of home, just like I would have at home.
Mhm.
Lee has, you gals.
Mhm.
They need to be in a position, when you get this emergency call, you gotta be able to respond, but they need to be taken care of and arrested. So the love seat, the recliner chair, good beds.
Mhm.
We don't want them catching the phone call and driving out to pick up the ambulance. Yeah, I can see why you're keeping them there.
Yeah.
You got a building that's available to do that.
Yeah.
And I respect you for remodeling the thing.
Charles, when they're all done, you should come out and look at it.
I probably will.
No, do.
We're gonna have an open house.
Good.
You bring the donuts, okay?
I
You
could
get
probably
off the
handle
donut
that.
thing.
I could probably handle the donuts.
Is it gonna be BYOB?
Bring your own
Connor,
bread.
did anybody
Yeah,
say
you can
Connor
bring your
could
own
say
bread.
anything?
We're gonna
Nobody's
have
in the
Kool-Aid
conversation.
just
I
for
didn't know
you.
he was
I'll
here.
have Kool-Aid just for you. Okay, Connor?
Okay.
Charles, thank you for your comments. They're,
Hope I haven't upset the apple cart.
You're great.
no.
Can I make a motion to approve claims?
Thought we did.
I thought
No,
we
we
did.
didn't.
Okay,
Or-
including this one.
And thank you for highlighting it. $146,514.25.
Could you repeat that?
$146,514.25.
Can you do that backwards?
Lee,
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
You have some wasted with me.
I think
Just
we've,
call.
talked to the ambulance guy as much as we need to today.
That's good, because I-
They need
So
to
do
get
we
to
need
work
to
and you
adjourn?
have to go to your
I
the
gotta
meeting.
See if the restroom is finished yet.
Is that his other
Right.
meeting?
Which
Huh?
one?
Is
The
that
one
his
that
other
goes
meeting?
bang, right?
Motion
I gotta
adjourned.
See if the restroom's fixed.
Second,
The one
all
that
those in
goes bang.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.